The 2020 Veterans Parade live broadcast on KLST. Sponsored by Rio Concho Communities, the original Henry's Diner, and Concho Valley Door.
Good morning. Welcome to the annual San Angelo Veterans Day Parade. I'm Carolyn. KLST, along with my new KLST co-anchor, Greg Kerr. Welcome.
Thank you, Carolyn. I appreciate it. I'm back in San Angelo. I was here many years ago as a sports guy, and how wonderful it is to come back to the city and be a part of this fantastic Veterans Day Parade honoring Vietnam veterans.
It is great to have you. We have a Vietnam veteran. Kris Boone is our weekend meteorologist, and he'll be joining us today to talk about a lot of things and give us a lot of insight. Welcome.
Correct. Yeah, we're getting that military perspective on all the floats that are coming through, and certainly kind of breaking everything down as it comes through.
You can hear the wind in our mics a little bit. It's beautiful and sunny, and we have a lot of people down around at the corner. We're at the corner of Concho and South Oaks, and we want to let everybody know that everybody's wearing a mask. When you look around, we've had them on. We're distance here up on stage, so we're taking all of those precautions, and we're so happy to be able to broadcast this parade for you so that you can stay home and watch safely today. But it is special that we are doing that, and a lot of people are taking precautions. The All Veterans Council of the Concho Valley, which has sponsored this and put all this together, everybody being very careful about that today.
Yes.
And making their way up East Concho right now is the Honor Guard, and this is the way we kick off parades, and it's beautiful to see this going on today because of all that's been going on, as you mentioned, Carolyn, about COVID, and what a perfect atmosphere this is for us today here in San Angelo to be able to honor these fantastic veterans of the military and to be able to kick off our Saturday like this. It's just a wonderful way to do it.
It is, of course. The Honor Guard traditionally carries all the flags of all the armed forces across the United States. Correct, Kris?
Yes, and you'll notice the American flag is always on the right side of any color guard formation, so they'll keep that. Then the other 5 flags that they have present are each flag for each individual branch of the military. So you have your Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Army, and your Coast Guard.
Again, we're at the corner right downtown of Concho and South Oaks. They will pass us and they will turn north on Oak Street. Then they'll go to Tuig, just a block away, and turn back south to Chadbourne, then to Harris, then to Irving, then to Beauregard, back around to the Concho Valley River, where they all started this morning. So that is the traditional parade route through downtown St. Louis. Windy, what's the wind speed this morning, Kris?
Yeah, it's a bit breezy, getting up into the teens, but otherwise, I mean, it's a fantastic day. Plenty of sunshine. There's just a couple of clouds just off in the distance, but otherwise, it has been a crystal clear day. Fantastic temperature-wise, not too hot, not too cold, so really great weather-wise.
The theme for this year's Veterans Day Parade is Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans, and we have a lot of them will be featuring in the parade today.
They're expecting, some 64 entrants for the parade, but they've upped that probably a little bit more than 70, so it's been a fantastic turnout. Well,
they have several busloads of Vietnam veterans, too, and we have all of their names for you, so you can go check that out at some point, either today during the parade, or it will be up there. You can check it out anytime you want to on our website at ConchoValleyHomepage.com.
Number 2 coming up after the color guard is the prisoner of war missing in action. Ray Denson, a U.S. Air Force active duty, and his wife, Eva Denson, who served as chaplain on All Veterans Council of Tom Green County. This is in honor of the fallen and in hopes that our missing come home in memory of Sergeant Lorenzo Chapa, who was killed in action back in 1968.
We talk about the military history and actually starting with Fort Concho, just a few blocks down the street in 1867. Then, of course, Goodfellow Air Force Base that opened in the 1940s. The Grand Marshal of our parade today is Goodfellow Air Force Base 17th Training Wing Commander, Colonel Andres Nazario.
And this is Miss Jackie Swanson in her classic 1966 Mustang. That is a beautiful car, even more so today than it probably was back in 1966. Colonel James Finlayson is the vice commander.
Well, that's Ronnie Hawkins.
Oh, Ronnie, yeah.
He is our honorary Grand Marshal. He's also he actually finished 30 years of service at Fort Meade, close to Washington. You know where that is, Kris, but he is the New Angelo State University president. This is our San Angelo Mayor, Brenda Gunter. First woman mayor of San Angelo. Good morning. It is beautiful, perfect weather.
And the mayor's been the mayor of San Angelo since 2017.
And she's running for re-election next year, too. We can mention that.
She loves her city.
The Texas edition truck, too.
With cute little family members in the back.
Vietnam Veterans Association passing us right now. Nice wave to the crowd.
On that float is a Gold Star son. That's Jimmy Dale Rogers Jr., and he is riding in honor of his father, Jimmy Dale Rogers, who was killed in action on 11/11 of 1967. They're also paying tribute to all past Vietnam veterans.
The American Legion, Post 572, the service flag, carrying the flags representing the branches of all armed forces.
Now, we were talking about the busloads, and pay close attention here because we have busloads of Vietnam veterans. The Rio Concho Manor from Rio Concho Terrace, the All Veterans Council Vietnam Veterans, and the All Veterans Council Vietnam Veterans Surviving Spouses.
Yes, and all this provided by Concho Valley Transit, which we appreciate their help today in getting these veterans out here.
You know, I think this is interesting, and we can talk about this a little bit later, but there's a very special pinning ceremony that will take place right after the parade this morning, just a few blocks away, back toward Fort Concho at the Paseo, to honor Vietnam veterans. You know, if you know the history about that, when they were coming back after the Vietnam War, they were not very well received in the United States at airports. People did not treat them very well. And so over the last 10 years or so, the government has tried to go back, and honor them. So it's a very special ceremony, and there will be about 10 Vietnam veterans who will be receiving those pins today.
Wow, it's really fantastic. So,
all right, next up is the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association 2013 at 2312. That's helping vets.
Good day to go on a motorcycle ride.
Fantastic day.
Or a horse ride, horseback ride.
Yeah. Just 1 horsepower.
You were mentioning a few minutes ago about Vietnam veterans not being well received back when they came back in the mid-70s or before. I was at several years ago when they were unveiling a Vietnam veteran statue near the Capitol, and you could tell the emotion on some of those veterans. I interviewed several of them, and you could tell the emotion still after all these decades that have passed and what it meant to them to see that statue unveiled for them.
Of course, the Veterans of Foreign War Post 1815. Are you a member? I think it's so interesting. We always think of the...
I've been trying to join. I have not joined yet with either American Legion or the VFW, but I've had previous memberships back in Mississippi.
And they do a lot of fun things, too. They have sipping shops, and they have dances, and they're pretty active.
Yeah, I saw them.
Disabled Veterans Chapter 237. The Disabled Veterans, the nonprofit that provides a lifetime of support for veterans of all generations and their families, helping more than 1 million veterans in positive, life-changing ways each year.
You know, a lot of them have been going online. This is the Christian Veterans organization to help veterans, making the peace with the past. A lot of them have had to go online over the last few months to help people and help get their services out because of the coronavirus.
Woven going past us right now, Women Veterans Network.
Good morning. Everybody has a mask on and everybody has a flag.
Yes. And a terrific support group, Women Veterans Network, to help our military.
Kris, tell us about your experience.
12 years in the and it started with in San Diego, then went on to Germany where I worked alongside the Air Force at the 21st Operational Weather Squadron, then went on to Japan and finished up in Mississippi. So 12 years, a lot of exciting traveling.
Yeah, and a lot of weather experience.
And plenty of weather experience.
Yeah, that's true. You saw the world.
Yeah, and now we have the Veterans
VA Clinic, yes.
The VA Clinic. So
hello, VA Clinic.
And we have our new one there in that nice new building.
I was just over there yesterday for my appointment. I had an appointment at 11, so I'm going to wave and say hi to some people I recognize.
All right, World War II veterans, we have 2 of them today.
That's John Boykin.
And we want to really honor him and say thank you so much for being...
Right, Ron Jewell is your driver of that veteran.
He was in the Army Air Corps from 1942 to 45 in Egypt. He was a heavy equipment operator for the ground crew.
And then we have a World War II veteran honored, Demetrio Rodriguez.
He was in the Indian Head Infantry, 1944 to 1946, the 2nd Indian Head Infantry. So nice to be able to honor them. And we have a number of veterans from World War II all the way up to Afghanistan to tell you about today.
And this is from Korea, Jean Hargraves, drivers Ann Barnard. Native of San Angelo, Hargraves served in the Marine Corps from July of 1947 through July of 1952. And now owns Hargraves Tire and Auto. Thank you.
Another Korean War veteran, Robert Holtz, who grew up in Coleman, U.S. Marine Corps, 1949 to 1973. He says he's 89 years old.
All right.
And we should also tell you that he has he's going for 100 and he has a Purple Heart.
You'll make it. He looks great.
He does.
All right. Thank you, sir. Can't beat that. He says he has a full-time job. That's awesome. All right, and Gilbert Pedroza is driving the Vietnam honored truck for Steve Thurman.
Steve served 38 years. He retired as a master sergeant.
It's amazing. Thank you.
A lot of Texas Edition trucks.
Yes.
They're all nice and shiny and clean, too, aren't they?
Vietnam veteran Juan Perez. Driving the truck is Caitlin Walter. Perez was a U.S. veteran, served from 1971 to 74. He's lived in San Angelo since 1974, has been employed by S&S Cabinet Shop for over 45 years.
That's a long time.
Thank you, Juan. Thank you for your service.
We move ahead in time to the Gulf War next. Randy LeCompte, who is a West Point graduate. Legion of Merit and Bronze Star Awards for missions in both Iraq and Afghanistan. Nice to see you.
He was awarded the Legion of Merit, the Bronze Star, and campaign medals. Very impressive, distinguished service.
Also from the Gulf War, Troy Cosby, U.S. Marine Corps, 1986 to 1991. Desert Shield, Desert Storm, 1st Marine Division member, Disabled American Vets Chapter. He's also a member of the local Veterans of Foreign War Post 1815. Good morning.
And in that sweet convertible Camaro, we've got Iraqi veteran Eric Ballard, drivers Terry Lockhart. Eric was in the U.S. Army from 2001 to 2011. U.S. Army Infantry, serving 4 deployments. San Angelo native, now living out in Wall.
Who's that in the back with you? Is that
Kids in the woods?
Kids, okay, terrific.
She's holding that flag up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric, for your service. Another Iraqi veteran, Terry Walker. Marty Ramirez is driving the Chevrolet Gold Star Mother, is Marty Ramirez. Terry served in the U.S. Air Force from 2002 to 2015. Long time service for Iraqi veteran Terry Walker.
We move to Afghanistan now. This is Regina Sorrells. She was in Operation Northwatch, Operation Enduring Freedom, 14 years in the U.S. Air Force. Geospatial analyst. Not even sure what that means.
It's not a broadcaster.
Intel, of course.
Okay, yes.
And she lives in Mertzen.
Yes. All right. That 1978 pace car for the Indy 500.
How fast can those go?
Wow, pretty fast. So it's got a real engine in it.
Yeah.
Next up is Lionel Cervantez. David Heath is driving his truck. Lionel is from Sonora, Texas. He enlisted in 2002, separated as a sergeant of security forces, did 4 tours overseas. Thank you for your service.
And as we go from honoring our veterans in the parade this morning, we have the first of our high school bands, the Lakeview High School Band, marching in front of us now. We'll listen to them for just a minute. All right, following the Lakeview High School Band, we have the Prep Academy Mini Elite Prep Dance Team. And they're cheering as they march with their sparkly gold pom-poms. Oh, and look at the smaller version here. We have 3 different levels. Cheerleaders in training.
Yes.
Aren't they cute?
Very good. You know, you think about some of these parades that are held in the dead of summer, and you think about these bands that have to wear those uniforms that are polyester.
That's the Prep Academy and Junior Elite Prep Dance Team. All right, let's talk about ROTC. This is the ROTC group from Lakeview. Tell us about what ROTC is.
So this is the JROTC, and there's a difference. In JROTC, you would actually, it can actually help you advance to your military career up to E3. ROTC is at college. That would be getting your officer commission if you were to do that. But JROTC, I did that in high school. I was an Army JROTC, yeah. And so I'm watching their formation. Same thing. You see the American flag.
You learn to march.
Right? Yeah, you learn how to march. You'll learn basic rank structure. Kind of, you'll build, even the entire organization is built. They'll have a commander, they'll have officers broken into squads, and then you'll have members. And so as you progress through your 4 years, you'll kind of move up. Very similar.
Understand what's going on when you become an ROTC.
Yeah, it was a very smooth transition going from a JROTC into the military. It's really, really well done.
It's a stepping stone, Kris.
Yes.
Next up is the Grape Creek Volunteer Fire Department. Quite the contingent out from Grape Creek today.
And notice he has his 4-wheel vehicle. You have to have that to get out into the country to fight fires these days. That's nice to have.
Oh, yeah.
Good point.
They have several trucks. So you have the 4-wheel drive guy first. Then you have the, looks like maybe the captain's truck.
Yeah.
And here are the big guns.
That's right.
Although that guy looks like he can pretty much go anywhere, too. And these are all volunteer firefighters, too. We want to thank them for everything they do. They have day jobs. Rush to fires when they're needed.
Yeah, you can never thank them enough for the volunteer work that they do. And next up is the Suez Shrine Temple. That is about a 1959 Cadillac, probably. At one time, maybe a hearse. I don't know. But that is quite the ride.
Sweet.
Yes.
This looks like an antique fire truck.
Yes, it does. This is the Mack fire truck.
Hi. That's something to see.
All right, so this is Troop 363, Boy Scouts of America. It's their historic flags float. Flags on display coming through, a 50-star flag.
There were some little Cub Scouts going by there, too, waving American flags.
It's good to see that Scouts is still vibrant and still extremely popular even now after all these years. Boy Scouts have been around so long. Even when I was a kid. Hard to believe, huh? Are you laughing at me or with me, Carolyn?
We are.
Then you've got a 48-star flag, a 35-star cavalry flag, and the list goes on. We'll get through those as we go through. The Grand Union flag, the Betsy Ross flag, the Star-Spangled flag, the Bennington flag, the Gadsden flag. Don't tread on the flag.
That's
the
flag. One. That's one with the snake. You know that one.
Yes, and an appeal to Heavenly flag, and again the 35-star flag. This was admitted as a state in 1863. Kris, you may not know this. The stars were increased to 35.
Interesting.
There you go.
Yeah, a lot of changes with those flags. You know, it kind of shows how things kind of evolve and change as it goes on.
All right, Boy Scout Pack 22 coming in behind him saying, "Thank you, veterans." She's really waving those streamers. Keep going. There you go. Lots of wavers on that float.
Yeah. A lot of energy on that one.
And keeping these kids involved, too. I think that's, you know, it's also very patriotic as well.
Did you see the little double stroller ride there, the little wagon ride?
See, they don't make them like that when I was a kid. We're in the red wagon. I've dated myself way too much here in the last few minutes, haven't I? Oh,
Troop 42. You're remembering all those memories. See, they stay with you. Seriously.
It does. You're right. You're right. Scouts highly represented today.
Yes, a lot of American flags on that one, too.
We got a puppy.
Everyone's got a flag.
he has his dog
Service
assistant.
dog.
Yes, service
dog.
dog vest on. Keeping an eye on everybody.
All right, the Scouts are making their way through. That's pack 374.
They have a little campfire. Can you see that in the wagon, kind of at the back? Little,
yeah.
ready to go.
Could you make a campfire right now if you tried, Carolyn?
In this wind, no.
I couldn't. And this is the Christoval Volunteer Fire Department.
They're watching the campfire.
Thank you for your work. Volunteer fire again. And those guys work extra hard.
We also have lots of great fundraisers, too. Their big July 4th fundraiser. Really good barbecue.
Yeah.
Hey, here's another. Can't call this an antique. This would be a classic car.
You know, right now we'd like to thank the Sunbelt Oil and Gas Rentals for donating a lift for our use today for KLST's cameras. Also, I want you to please log on to our Concho Valley homepage to see a list of veterans on the buses and to see and thank all of the people that helped make this Veterans Day parade honoring Vietnam veterans here in downtown San Angelo.
Look who's here.
Oh, my gosh.
In his
Never too
convertible.
early for Santa, huh?
Toys for Tots is already underway. Gypsy Cerna says they're already doing it. You recognize the members of the U.S. Marine Corps stationed here in San Angelo. We're so lucky to have them. And you see them stationed throughout the city when the Marine Corps Reserve Toys for Tots drive happening as we speak right now.
And you got to love, Kris, Santa's sled.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice. It's no reindeer today.
No,
Santa's happy that you liked his
the
sled.
rest, but
I love that.
We have another volunteer fire department, the Dove Creek Volunteer Fire Department, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4 bright yellow vehicles to show us at the parade this morning. Look at the winches on the fronts of those trucks, too.
Oh, yeah.
You can pull yourself out of anything.
I like the bright yellow coloring. Really stands out, kind of like a very contrast, because you normally just see the traditional red. But, yeah.
You know, we've had dry conditions here the last few years, but we had that nice rainfall just recently, which is kind of hopefully will get us
Correct.
through.
Yeah, we've started to see those drought conditions creep back up, but hopefully maybe some rain next week. But we've just been very dry for October and going into November as well.
Next along the parade route is the Angelo State University Veterans Educational and Transitional Services float. And that's quite the float there, a big Hummer. And Kris, that'd be along the lines of a military grade type Hummer, wouldn't that?
Yeah, military style. A lot of even commercial vehicles had their origins derived from military vehicles. Same with Jeep as well. So it was really kind of like the fascinating history with even some of the cars you see on the road today.
And we do have some float winners we'll get to later, right?
We do, but first let's listen to the mighty Bobcat Band, San Angelo Central High School, as they come by us at the corner of Concho and South Oaks. Say hi to our producer's little sister Isabella in the Central Band this morning, playing the flute.
Big numbers in the Central High School band.
Yeah, that was a big band.
Good-sized band. And happy times at Central. This team's unbeaten now in district play, Carolyn.
After a big game last night, what was the final? 50-something over Midland.
It was a rout.
Big score it was for the
Go
Bobcats. Flag Corps holding their flags as they go around the corner.
Laser focused on the job. They're just playing the band. A lot of the other floats, they're kind of waving and engaging with the crowd. That band was laser focused on the music. So
that's what they do.
We talked about the Lakeview Junior ROTC.
Yeah.
This is the Central Junior ROTC group.
Yeah, same. And again, the similar thing. The American flag on the right. They have the Texas flag on the left. It's a 4-man color guard. rifles on either end. So very traditional.
Does that vary if you were in another state? That formation stays the same, but you have just a different state flag?
Yeah, you would swap out your state flag, and then you can even add on to it. Like the 4-man color guard is like the very basic, and then you can add on to several flags if you want to do state flag or all the military branches flags, and then even we've done ones where we do all 50 states.
So, Kris, when did you become interested in the military? Was it high school?
It was, that's when I started with JROTC, but I came from a military family, so my father served, uncle served, every whole family has served. And
He's
so
from Wichita Falls.
It was one of those things, like I was going to serve, so I did JROTC as well, got up to part of the staff, got S3 on their little staff. It was a little fun time.
Oh, very good. My grandfather was in the Marines. My dad was in the Navy. He got in toward the end of World War II.
Johnson's Funeral Home coming around the corner in a white Cadillac Escalade.
Dr. Flores, Army
Military
Vietnam,
veteran.
1969 through 70, and again in the Navy.
Here comes the KLST KSAN Concho Valley homepage truck and a bright blue pickup truck. Is that Shelby at the wheel? It is. Hi, Shelby.
That's our favorite float right there.
Sonora. Ethan Kristen from the morning show. There's Aaron.
The newest meteorologist, Brittany.
Yes.
So.
Who's from New Orleans. Hospice of San Angelo with the West Texas Rehab Center now. They perform a wonderful service and have a growing organization there. It's so nice to see them in the parade this morning.
We got a puppy dog on the back, too.
And next up is the San Angelo Association of Realtors. In fact, working with a realtor right now here in San Angelo to get a house here. So, see how that goes.
It's kind of a tight, the economic people will tell you we're going to have to maybe look for a little while.
Yeah. Well, it was not easy finding Angelo, I'll tell you that.
You know, we talk about the military history of San Angelo, you know, with Goodfellow Air Force Base. So many men and women came through here for training, whether it was intel or fire training, or even earlier with pilot training, and then came back after their years of service and retired in San Angelo. So we have both sides of that. We have the retirement community and then the active military community with Goodfellow.
Yeah, I know Ken Casper, longtime friend.
Concho bail bonds.
Moved here from the Phoenix area and retired from Goodfellow, a few years ago. So Goodfellow has some ties.
We got the
All right, more Vietnam veteran honors coming through the parade. Again, we're talking about how our theme this year is Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans, and there will be a pinning ceremony for Vietnam vets over at the Paseo immediately following the parade for about 10 veterans today. Also, the Elks Club. You know, the Elks Club always has the lunch meal after the parade every year. They are having it this year, but it's drive-through, and it's open to all military families and spouses, but you have to drive through and pick up your lunch at 2121 South Chadbourne, and that's free for all military veterans and families.
And they'll shut it down at 3 o'clock or until food runs out, one of those two. And again, that's at the
roller derby.
Yeah.
Slashers Junior Roller Derby. We didn't recognize them. They don't have their roller skates on.
Roller derby.
There's a skateboarder in with the roller derby.
But that is a great sport.
Oh yeah, I had a friend.
She
played in. She was a veteran, and she did it while she was stationed in Germany.
Oh my gosh!
They had their own team over there, so it was really fun.
And here we go. The racers are out today as well. The car 343. Never forget 9/11 2000 and local tracks doing some racing.
Texas Department of Transportation following them. Heads up, Texas. Texting and driving is illegal. You know, they were busy a couple of weeks ago before you got here out putting chemical down on the roadways when we had that freeze.
Oh, yeah, when the ice storm,
which was kind of unexpected on Halloween.
So it's right before Halloween. It's good. They can kind of get over a break now. They don't have to worry about it. They can use their trucks for the parade.
This is Blue Cross Blue Shield, their community float coming through. Always need health insurance, right?
More people honoring veterans, and this is the Ambleside School of San Angelo, and we have to let everybody know that they won first place In the float category today, congratulations to Ambleside. In fact, they won several years in a row now with their float. Let's take a look at that as it comes around. They're being led by their cheerleaders this morning.
And one cheerleader has boots on. Look at that.
You're in West
That's
Texas.
awesome. That's right.
She's getting ready for the rodeo parade.
She is. That's great. 2 parades in 1.
Oh, take a look at this float.
Oh.
Very special.
Well, yeah, I see. That's impressive.
And if you look closely, those are people
Yes.
being very still.
It's well thought out. Very creative.
Again, Ambleside,
Yeah.
first place in the float competition in today's Veterans Day Parade.
Well done. Well done, Ambleside.
Fort Concho won 3rd place in the float division. The 4th and the 10th Cavalry, Bob Bluthart, executive as he goes by with infantry, and then we have representation from the cavalry coming through. The 4th and the 10th was here. Good morning. Good morning, Ron Perry. Nice to see you, sir.
And there's that Jeep we talked about,
Willis
that
Jeep?
World War II
Is that a
Jeep,
Willis?
From yes, by 1942-ish, maybe, somewhere along there, 43. You don't see a whole lot of those anymore.
Yeah.
They're few and far between. That one looks like it's in pretty good shape, though,
It
doesn't
does.
Still
You
running
see the
every day.
general in the passenger seat there with his pipe?
it? Oh, yes, just like the old days, like Patton or somebody. Who did the pipe? One of the generals.
Members of the San Angelo Jeep Club talking about Jeeps.
Yeah, speaking of Jeeps.
And this is a long parade of the San Angelo Jeep Club. Great to have them out.
Yeah, and Jeep got its origins from the military service. It usually stood for the GP, and it was abbreviated, it's rounded as Jeep.
That's
And so
right.
That was
Say
how it
that
got
again.
that name.
I've never known that.
The GP was the letters, the nomenclature, that how they named the actual Jeep, and it was GP, and then they'd say it Jeep, and that's how Jeep got its name.
That's
And
why you're
so,
here, Chris.
Yeah, derive its origins from military service as well. So
That is good.
everywhere you
military
look,
story.
you're going to find some influence of military service.
Oh, very nice.
And a lot of people are in Jeeps today.
Yeah.
There's a camo Jeep.
You know, there are Jeep clubs all over Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jeep clubs are all over. I know one day Texas had a bunch of Jeeps involved in their club, and then this is quite the turnout today coming down.
And there are dozens
Concho,
of them
East
on this
Concho.
Saturday morning as we get ready to wind down for this San Angelo Veterans Day Parade 2020.
This has been a great turnout, Kris and Carolyn. I tell you, there's so many people lining the street here, enjoying today, enjoying the Saturday, honoring veterans.
And honoring veterans
Yes.
of all ages and all
Yeah.
generations in San Angelo. Again, we have such a long history of that, and it's so nice to be able to do that. Good morning. All right, we want to thank everybody for watching this morning as we wind up with our San Angelo Veterans Day Parade of 2020. Don't forget about the Vietnam veteran pinning ceremony at the Paseo later, right after the parade, and then the Elks Club. You can go get your drive-through lunch while everybody socially distances.
Yeah.
But again, thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. Greg, it's great to have you in San Angelo. And Kris, thank you so much for your stories. I can't wait to read more about the Jeep.
Yeah.
Right. Now you know, right?
We were talking about the theme of the day. You know, we saw those busloads of people going through in the Jeep today, the Vietnam veterans. Which we are celebrating today. And also about the difference, Greg, you were mentioning, you know, when they were coming home versus other World War II veterans and Afghanistan veterans and other ones. There's a difference in the way they were treated just because of the situation and the time and the way things were happening.
Yeah, that was a very polarizing war for many people in this country, and unfortunately the soldiers and those who served had to feel the brunt of a lot of angst toward back, and it's just unfortunate, but hopefully now after all these years it's okay, and they are certainly well respected and absolutely appreciate the service that they put in.
And go through the ceremony and they get to have the nice pin. So you learned about weather. I'm going back to your story. So you come from a family of military
Yeah,
people.
everyone almost
Did
always.
you want to get into weather when you were in that?
Yeah, so that was like the compromise. I wanted to just go into weather straight out, but then after 9/11, I was like, I feel like I need to serve. I wanted to kind of find that in between, so I found weather service with the military service. And the Navy and Air Force both offered it. I ended up taking the Navy and kind of strayed from my family roots of the Army.
Did you all have some of the same computer systems that you use now in television meteorology?
So a little bit different. We use a lot of different computer software, but the basic fundamentals of weather forecasting and all that is the same. So whether you're forecasting for here in San Angelo or the Concho Valley, you're forecasting for a military operation or a mission. So you're using the same models, the same general guidelines.
He has lots of great stories about being on Navy ships with big
yeah,
waves.
So this was the Bonhammer Shard. This is from the ship I served on out of San Diego. That was the ship that caught fire out in San Diego
Just a
earlier
few
this year.
pictures about that those guys were so serious about saving.
Yeah.
Again, we want to thank you and thank all military veterans, and thank you all for joining us. Greg, it's great to have you.
Thank you.
And for Kris and Greg, I'm Carolyn Mcenrue. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching the 2020 Veterans Parade live broadcast on KLST. Sponsored by Rio Concho Communities, the original Henry's Diner, and Concho Valley Door.